Sergeant Griff waited as the 5 students he called walked forward. Another boy followed Quinn and Vorden. The sergeant had called him Peter. He looked nervous. The boy couldn't stop fidgeting. His frame was smaller than Quinn's. However, it suited Peter, since he was short. Quinn saw a lot of himself in Peter. A small boy with glasses and scruffy brown hair, Peter wasn't exactly a stunner. The other 2 members of their group were both girls. Layla had short brown hair and a tall figure. She carried a bow on her back. This surprised Quinn, since not many people carried a weapon these days. The only people that came to mind were a specific group called Pure. Pure claimed abilities were a blight on humanity. They opted to use weapons instead. However, there weren't many of them. Quinn had never met any Pure before. He'd only heard stories about the group. The last member of their group stepped forward. Erin turned the heads of all the boys as she approached. She had long, silky hair with a magnificent golden hue. Even Quinn felt his heart beat faster. His only concern was her expression. She didn't look nervous or scared at all. Her face remained stiff and neutral. It made her appear cold. She didn't care about the attention she received at all. Quinn didn't recognize any of the students in the group. He noticed the other 4 didn't know each other either. Quinn assumed this was done on purpose. Their group stopped behind another group, ready to be transported to the testing area. Vorden walked around them. He greeted everyone with a handshake and a confident smile. Vorden was very polite, so most of them accepted his greetings, except for Erin. She stared at Vorden's hand when he offered it to her. Then she turned her gaze away.
Come on, you don't have to be like that.
Vorden placed his hand on her shoulder. It was a terrible mistake. Erin moved faster than anyone could react. She grabbed Vorden's wrist and twisted his hand. Specks of ice crawled up his hand. Quinn felt a wave of cold hit his body. Vorden's arm froze all the way to the shoulder. They were making a scene. Quinn expected someone to step in, but no one did. The crowd watched gleefully. Several students expressed their amazement in unison.
Wow, she has ice abilities?
Isn't that very rare?
I would let her freeze me any day.
Stop it, you 2.
Sergeant Griff barked.
If you have that much energy to pick a fight, then save it for the test.
Erin immediately dropped Vorden's hand. Vorden gasped in pain. His hand defrosted, slowly. He scrambled back to the line and stood behind Quinn, his face flushed with embarrassment.
Can you believe her?
Vorden complained.
I nearly lost my hand.
Quinn shrugged.
You can't just go around touching people without their permission.
Yeah, I know.
She's lucky I didn't wipe the floor with her.
I was just trying to be a gentleman. His words created enemies for him. Admirers of Erin felt that disgracing Vorden might earn them points with Erin. Quinn read what the other boys were thinking. It was on their faces. Quinn moved away from Vorden, hoping that others wouldn't mistake the 2 of them as friends. He liked the guy, but he didn't want to be bullied again. Griff called Quinn and the others forward.
Stand right there, inside the square. Don't move too much.
Quinn saw that the square was drawn with white lines on the ground. The space inside was just big enough to fit the 5 of them. A hooded man stood just outside the circle. Quinn felt uneasy looking at this mysterious figure.
Send them away,
Griff ordered. The hooded man planted both of his hands on the ground. The square lit up, shining a bright purple color.
An ability to transport others, huh?
Vorden whispered to Quinn.
What a rare ability.
The open field faded from sight. An ocean of colors swam around them. Lights burned into Quinn's retina. The very next second, they found themselves in another outdoor area. An empty wasteland. There were no signs of life anywhere. Two people stood before the group, a woman dressed in black and a hooded figure next to her. Quinn could not see the badges on either of their uniforms, making it impossible to tell what rank they were. The woman held a tablet in her hand. She ignored the group that had appeared before her, focusing on the tablet instead. Once she finished, her gaze shifted to the students.
Hello, I am Jane. I will be the one in charge of your test today. Once the test has been completed, I will update your information. Your score will then be reflected on your wristwatches.
Her face displayed the same emotional range as Aaron's.
Now, who should we call first? Oh, it looks like we have a couple of level 1s.
Jane noted as her eyes ran across her tablet. Clearly, the tablet contained their information from their previous schools.
Peter Chuck, step forward.
Peter did as he was told. He looked even more nervous than before. Quinn felt weak, but compared to Peter, he was in perfect condition. At least Quinn stood straight, whereas Peter looked like he would fall over any second.
What is your ability?
Jane asked.
I don't have an ability.
Peter lowered his gaze. Quinn now understood why Peter was so nervous. Having no ability wasn't rare. Many children were orphans, like Quinn, due to the war. This usually meant that there was no chance for them to buy an ability book.
Don't be afraid, Peter. Here, take this.
Jane's voice didn't soften as she spoke, as though this was a practiced line. The hooded man suddenly conjured a book in his hands. He held it out quietly. Jane took the book and handed it over to Peter. No kindness showed on her face. Still, Peter lit up with excitement.
For me? You're just giving this to me for free? Thank you. Study the book in your free time. When you have finally learned to use it, you can come back to redo the test. For now, I'll award you a level 1 power status.
Peter held the book close. His mood had lifted. At this moment, he only felt hope. With an ability book in hand, his life could finally turn around.
Quinn Talon, step forward.
Jane ordered. Quinn did as he was told. Jane stared at him with her penetrating gaze.
What is your ability?
Subscribe now and start watching free episodes of the #1 fantasy show in this YouTube playlist. For the full story, click the link in the description, download the Pocket FM app, and watch all episodes of My Vampire System.